15 most valuable things in the world. The thing about having lots of money to spend is that you can buy the most ridiculous things at even more ridiculous prices and show it off. Generally, the most expensive items in the world are one-of-a-kind pieces or limited edition items. Millionaires and billionaires can stretch the budget for these rare items as far as their interests take them. Some are willing to pay insane amounts for the best of the best. From the most expensive gemstone to birds' nests, let's look at 15 most valuable things in the world that only the elite would hope to possess. But before we get into that, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. Number 1. Honus Wagner. He might not be the most famous baseball player, but the Honus Wagner card is the rarest and most expensive one in existence. We know that baseball cards are very rare, and when sold, the owner can make some pretty good bucks. But the 1909 to 1911 Honus Wagner baseball card sold for a whopping $3.12 million and became the most expensive card ever sold. Before that, the record was held by a different copy of the same card, which was sold for $2.8 million in 2007. About 60 Wagner cards exist in the world, and all of them were produced by the American Tobacco Company. The limited run made the cards extremely valuable. This is easily the rarest sports card in the world. Number 2. Gutenberg Bible. The advent of the Gutenberg printing press is well known to some as the single most important moment in modern history. It changed how the world read and wrote. Before the press, the books had to be handwritten by writers and then published, which was a pretty time-consuming and expensive task. This resulted in books being sold at high prices, and literacy was something that was reserved only for the rich. The Gutenberg printing press changed everything, and the first book printed on the press was, unsurprisingly, the Bible, which was the most important book in the West at the time. After the printing of the first book, hundreds followed. But the books weren't durable, so only 28 partial copies and 21 full copies remain in the Library of Congress and other well-respected institutions across the world. A single page can cost you $25,000, but what are you going to do with just one page? If you want the full Bible, be ready to pay $35 million for it. Not bad for a dusty old book. Number 3. The rarest coin. The first time you look at it, you'll probably think of it as just another coin, but this nickel can cost millions. It is expected to be the most expensive ounce of gold in the world. This rare 1923 $20 double eagle is a legend among collectors and is the world's most expensive coin to be sold at an auction. All of these coins are the property of the US government, and only one remains in private hands. You've got to be wondering about how much it costs. Well, it went for $7.9 million. Nowadays, a $20 bill just costs $20. Number 4. Shakespeare Signature. William Shakespeare's influence was so great, many people believe that he was actually a group of people who published different writings under a pseudonym. He was so great that his signature carries an essence in the same way that a beat-up blankie is someone's prized possession. That signature was written by the hand that wrote some of the most famous writings of all time. Therefore, there is historical significance in that signature, and that creates value. Presently, there are 6 known William Shakespeare signatures in the world. Each signature has been valued at $5 million. This makes each of them the most valuable autograph in the world. Number 5. History Supreme Yacht. Malaysia's wealthiest person, Robert Knock, owns the History Supreme, a 100-foot-long yacht made of solid gold. Designed by the UK's Stuart Hughes, the boat's master bedroom has a wall made of meteorites and a statue made from the bones of a T-Rex. The master suite is adorned with a 68-kilogram, 24-karat gold Aqua Vista panoramic wall aquarium and a liquor bottle featuring a rare 18.5-carat diamond. This whole yacht cost $4.5 billion. Would you want to take a ride in it? Number 6. Spiderman comic. Before Spiderman became the star of multiple comic book series, TV shows, and movie franchises, he was a special character introduced in issue number 15 of Amazing Fantasy. The comics publisher was so underwhelmed by Stan Lee and Jack Kirby's character that he only agreed to feature him because it was the series' last issue. But the web-slinging hero turned out to be a hit with readers after he debuted in 1962, and he remains so popular today that a private collector paid $1.1 million for his first comic in 2011. Number 7. Treskilling Yellow Stamp. This stamp was discovered in 1885 by a young man who saw it among old letters and papers. A year later, he sold it for 7 kroner, which was a large sum of money at the time. The person who acquired the stamp was Heinrich Lichtenstein. Experts went on to confirm that this stamp was genuine. After that, several people owned the Treskilling Yellow. Finally, in 1894, a well-known collector bought the stamp for $3,000. Since no other Treskilling Yellow stamps were found since 1885, it became clear that this stamp was unique. In 1990, a businessman bought it for $1.3 million, and in 2010, it was sold for the last time for $2.3 million. It is widely known as the most expensive stamp ever. Number 8. Painite. Would you believe us if we told you that there are less than 25 Painite gemstones in the world? It's hard to believe that something so rare and elusive could draw massive attention, but that's exactly the story for Painite. Painite is one of the rarest gemstones in the world. They're found just in Myanmar, and for the most part, Painite seems like the perfect gemstone. It's durable, ranking 8 on the Mohs hardness scale, has a rich, deep red color, and exhibits radiant brilliance. What's the cost? Well, for a single carat, the gem can cost you $60,000. Number 9. Double Fantasy Album. The most valuable vinyl record of all time is John Lennon and Yoko Ono's Double Fantasy album from 1980. It sold for over $46,000 in 1999, but the only one worth this much is the one signed by John Lennon back in 1980. John signed it on December 8th for Mark David Chapman, who returned 5 hours later and killed the former Beatle. The album was actually used in the court case against Chapman. It's one of the reasons the album is worth so much. Number 10. Sorraia Horse. This is a breed of ancient horse that developed in the Portuguese peninsula. The properties, like coloring and primitive markings, are all indicative of their ancientness. Originally, its name was associated with Columbus and Hernando Cortez, but the later Sorraia gained their reputation because they were the only ones that could handle the climate of the New World. These animals are brave, loyal, and fierce. Sorraia colts and mares show their uniformity of type and color, signs of consistent, strong genetic inheritance. These are one of the very first horses taken to the Americas by the Spanish, and is the rarest breed, as it's close to extinction, which is the reason it's also the most valuable horse in the world. Number 11. Blue Empress. Jewelry doesn't catch much media attention, but that was not the case with the Blue Empress diamond necklace. The diamond, belonging to the Steinmetz Group of Geneva, unveiled to the world in November 2003 at the Harrods department store in London. It attracted international attention as the diamond, set as the centerpiece of an exquisitely crafted pendant to an 18-karat white gold necklace, was worn by supermodel Yasmin Lebon. The Blue Empress diamond is a perfectly symmetrical, pear-shaped, fancy, vivid blue diamond, weighing 14 carats. The diamond was valued at $16 million, and with the necklace, its value was juiced up to $20 million. Number 12. Bottle of Wine. The bottle of Chateau Lafite Rothschild, 1787, that was auctioned at Christie's of London in 1985, is officially the most expensive bottle of wine ever sold, at $160,000. The reason for the wine's high price tag is that despite having no label, the bottle was etched with the initials THJ, suggesting that the wine had once belonged to Thomas Jefferson. The third president of the United States, Jefferson was also known to be a wine connoisseur, and reportedly brought back with him to America about $120,000 worth of wine in today's currency from France. Number 13. Dragon and Lotus Vase. An anonymous telephone bidder paid $22.6 million for the 15th century imperial vase at the sale by Sotheby's auction house, more than double the lower pre-sale estimate of $10.7 million. The sale of the blue and white vase broke the world record for the price paid for porcelain from the Ming Dynasty. Number 14. Levi's Jeans. Levi Strauss created his renowned label in 1853 in San Francisco, and the jeans made by him and his company are still among the most popular and famous jeans today. He is even called the father of denim jeans, and a vintage pair of jeans created by his company can go for quite a large sum. In contrast to other clothes, jeans only get better with age. That's why a pair of Levi's from the late 1800s was bought for $46,000, and a pair from the early 1900s was sold for $36,000 at an auction. The jeans from the 1800s were bought by the Levi Company itself. Another Japanese collector bought a pair from the 1880s for $60,000 in 2006, making them some of the most expensive jeans in history. Number 15. Caviar of the East. For the past 400 years, Chinese cooking has been home to one of the most expensive delicacies in the world, bird's nest soup. Made from edible bird's nests, called the Caviar of the East, bird's nest soup is extremely rare and extremely valuable. The main ingredient, the nest of the swiftlet bird, costs anywhere from $2,500 to $10,000 per kilogram. The hefty price tag comes from the dangerous and extensive process of procuring the nests and cleaning them so that they're safe for consumption. That's our list of 15 most valuable things in the world. What's the most valuable thing that you own? Let us know in the comments below. And if you enjoyed the video, don't forget to like and subscribe to our channel.